This is WFO Radio.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of WFO Radio NHRA Nitro on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, and wherever you happen to watch it. NHRA and Competition Plus and Drag Racing Edge and a lot of other folks have been posting the show, and I want to thank them for bringing in new listeners and viewers and people who are interested in hearing from the stars of the Camping World Drag Racing Series. Very excited to have Doug Kalitta on this show just seconds from now. If you're on Facebook or if you're on Twitter and YouTube, you'll be able to, see Doug and post a question. He's ready to go. I want to mention the people who are making it possible, folks like Silverthorne Industries and Sanacor. SanacorUSA.com will be telling you a little bit later how to get their products, the packets, the gallons, all kinds of great stuff on the website. Been hearing from WFO Radio listeners already that they really appreciate the fact that all the back to school that's going on, put some of those packets in the kids' pocket and they'll be good to go. Also, Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology, totalseal.com, samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology, Rodax Coffee and Grills.com, Marvin Rodax, hot sauces and spice rubs in the grills. We were talking with Tommy Johnson about grilling yesterday. And of course, Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure, frankhawley.com. But now let's bring him on the show. He got the job done at the Mopar Express Lane Midwest Nationals presented by Pennzoil. Kalitta Motorsports' own Doug Kalitta. Doug, welcome to WFO once again. Second win. How are you?
Doing well, Joe. Thanks for having me on. Looks like you got it going on with your all the stuff in your office there.
Yeah, thank you. I've been collecting all this stuff for 1,000 years and never had any real place for it. My friends aren't all hardcore drag racing like I am, but with this video component of the show, I just loaded it all in. I got my tree, I got my trophies, I got some gear. I'm loaded.
Got it going on for sure.
What about you, though? You've got to have the best collectibles in the world, right? Kalitta Motorsports, all these years, drag racing stuff. What's your most favorite thing that you've kept over the years?
Yeah, I've got this room downstairs that I just puts my stuff in there and figure it out once you had it laying around for some amount of time. But I'm a little bit of a junk collector, I have to admit.
Hoarder? A little bit of a hoarder? I'm a hoarder. Yeah. I'll admit it. I have to.
I contain it all in one room.
Well, that's good. It depends on the size of the room, of course. Like if it's this giant warehouse style room, then you're still a hoarder. But if you can keep it in one room, that is a good deal. So let's go back to the Gator Nationals. Obviously, that wasn't the race you guys were looking for, which put you back against the wall for St. Louis. And we all know how it worked out. You guys came out fighting, but and there's 2 points between you and Steve for the championship. Leah's still in the mix. Tell me about the aftermath of Gainesville. Did you guys have a team meeting? Did you rally together? What was said?
Yeah, that was obviously very disappointing. Terry, he threw one down and obviously had the lowest run of the weekend, I think, out there. So, hats off to those guys. I mean, they certainly can run a big number when the conditions are right. So, like everybody out there, I mean, we're all we all want to win, and so it was pretty disappointing to get to go out first round at the Gators and lose whatever points that we lost that day. So. But yeah, afterwards, it was like a stretch of races that we kind of struggled. And so, yeah, we got together and obviously we went to St. Louis hoping for great results. And unfortunately, the conditions were really good. And the guys really had my car running well. So it was just a blessed day. I don't know how to describe it other than that. I mean, to be able to go rounds and then end up in the final against Stevie and get by him was a big deal for us. So, like you say, we're within a couple points. We're here to fight another weekend. So we're looking forward to going to Dallas, and it's always been one of our better tracks. And Billy and this whole team down there, they do a great job. So looking for big things down there for sure.
Going to be very exciting. Of course, you mentioned Billy Meyer, and he's got a whole bunch of stuff going on with, Tony Schumacher going into the legends of the Motorplex. They're trying to put on a huge event. They've got a big Friday night thing going on. They got a couple of days, festival style atmosphere, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then of course Saturday and Sunday. You got to give them credit. They're doing their best in a difficult time.
Yeah, really. So didn't realize he had all that going on. So yeah, Billy knows how to do it right. So and certainly the track's usually very good down there. I think it's going to be. I was looking in the mid 70s. Maybe that'll be some good conditions for Texas this time of year, and looking forward to it. We've got some good momentum going on. We had a little team dinner last night, so it'll just be go down there and see if we can qualify well, and in our 2 runs of qualifying, and see if we can keep this momentum rolling.
Very cool. Got some people out there already on Facebook asking questions. Phil just saying what's up, and Jeff saying thank you very much for joining the WFO audience, and Derek, who's always got some great questions. What's the oddest one-off item in your hoarding collection?
I've got some of these Traxxas cars. I give them to kids and whatever, so I still have a couple of those that I'm looking forward to giving to.
Very nice.
Somebody that's just old enough to be able to figure this thing out and drive it. So I got a little nephew there that he just needs to get just a little older. But so stuff like that, whatever I get, I try to, have some purpose to, give it to somebody and have some fun with it.
I dig it. So let's talk about eliminations. In that qualifying, we remember it was very tough in that it rained all day. It was kind of late. The fans hung out. They got a session in. So it was a bit of it was what it was. Let's put it that way. But then Sunday, different conditions. And you got to run up against Sean, who's been so tough. And this is an all Kalitta Motorsports battle. You're 0-24, Doug. 0-24. So you got up for Sean Langdon big time, maybe even a little too much, and then a 373-1 at 328, which was incredible. But man, 0-24. I don't know if you needed all of that.
Yeah, knowing those guys, Connie's, Connie and Sean, obviously that car, and that was Sean driving it. I mean, you never know what that thing's going to do. So other than normally run very well. So yeah, we went up there. I did not want to lose first round. I can tell you that. And yeah, it was, I looked at that too. I'm like, well, that was cutting it a little close, and, but we got the win, and that was what we needed. So that got our, the ball rolling for sure on what we were trying to get done.
Did you, and forgive me for asking, it's just, there's been a lot of discussion about reaction time and Justin Ashley and how the kid's so good. And so we're real dialed in on, 24. Did you see that? Is that like what we need to worry about Doug Kalitta doing when he needs to win?
If I could consistently hit stuff like what Justin's doing, I mean, he's doing a really good job. And, but yeah, I mean, every once in a while you see it and go, and it's like, geez, that was a good light. But I bumped it in a little bit too on that run for whatever reason. I think it was just the nerves of getting beat first round. It's like you don't want to be something stupid like get beat on a hole shot against Sean first round. So I think I wasn't bashful about it wasn't in deep or anything, but it's just
little
get in there and get your eye on the ball. So but yeah, it worked out well.
I like that. I Doug, I like the fact that you're feeling the experience. That's what we're all here for, to see this battle. Second round, TJ Zizzo. Man, those guys are super hungry for a win. The car's running good. They had that final round that we ran out in Indy, came up a little bit short, and they're putting up mid-70s runs. So you guys had to step on it, and you did. 70 with a 9. Yeah,
that was TJ, those guys, they run good, and fortunately we pulled off that 71 and got by them. But no, they're definitely nobody really out there you can take lightly these days. So that was a big round for us for sure.
Yes. And you get to the semifinals, and here we go. Tony Schumacher. Tony gets through Leah. We know what happened with Leah. Frightening, scary incident. And, fortunately she got out. Everything was okay. And you're able to get past Tony, which is significant. Yeah,
it was, running Tony, we've run a bunch against one another. So, and it's certainly never easy. And who would have thought, they do the burnout, they have whatever kind of problem. And we weren't sure if they were going to get off the track, or the starter up there, he wasn't sure what was going on. Didn't want to run us out of fuel up there waiting. So we shut the car off, and then, and Tony was cleared off pretty quick. We could have got away with just lining the thing up and going, because they were fortunate. They got him off the track, and anyway, so we regrouped, put some more fuel in it, turned it over, and then and we had a good run. So Tony was going to have to run pretty good against us for sure, and another strong run, with Rob and Troy and all my Mac Tools guys. They're Toyota guys. We're well on our way. We're going to the final against Stevie, so that was pretty exciting.
So let's focus on that, and hearing you relive the incident with Tony Schumacher and remembering all that went down there, the chaos. That's why we do these interviews. So you're getting ready to go up against Steve. This is a big final round, the 40-point swing we always hear about. That they beat you, it's 40 points because you don't get your 20 and they get it. How did this final round? What was the preparation? And I'd like to go back to that team dinner that you guys are having, and how you're preparing for moments like this.
Yeah, it was, it was a great run. We definitely went up there to run good, and the 69, it was a great run for us for sure. I was obviously hoping it was a little long. The light was a little long. I was a little disappointed. Certainly trying to get something better than whatever reaction time I had, but
66.
Yeah, so
worked.
So it worked, and yeah, it was. You get down to the end of the track. You never know where these guys are when you're running them. So, but yeah, he. Whatever happened to his car, but you're certainly looking for that wind light down there. That yellow light down that wall is your friend for sure, especially with what we're doing. So trying to go rounds, and really happy to get the win in St. Louis. St. Louis has been a great track for us over the years, and I was telling one of the guys, there's not a lot of guys that have run over there at the oval. I used to run the Silver Crown car. And I ran a ARCA car over there one time. So that was kind of cool to be one of the guys that's run at the drag strip and the oval. So
wow,
it's a cool track. Obviously the Wallaces are all from St. Louis, and it's a great racing town. So really happy to get the win there, and especially not having to deal with the 40-point swing like what you're saying.
Yeah, well, it changes the dynamic. Let's take a second and watch the final round from Fox Sports' Brian Loans, Tony Pedergano.
Immediate tire smoke for Steve Torrence, and that means Doug Kalitta will win St. Louis. Doug Kalitta, 3.690 seconds. The smoke trailing behind the race car at 322.58 miles an hour, and you can see a lot of elation on that side of the racetrack.
And there you have it. The guys, that was good. But no mosh pit. Has there been a rule change or something behind the scenes like that I didn't notice? They weren't all on the ground beating each other. It was a more peaceful version of mosh pit.
You may have seen Billy Torrance come over, and they decided, well, maybe we shouldn't drag him into this mosh pit, and got confused or something. I don't know what happened, but no, my guys were really happy. We were all very happy. Connie was there. He was elated. So yeah, it was a good ride home, and we got out of there with the win, so that was really cool.
Yeah, you mentioned Connie being elated. Let's look at this photograph that we got sent. This guy's getting a lot of wins here. The Kalitta Motorsports team has really ramped up, and with the U.S. Nationals wins back-to-back, of course, JR and Funny Car a couple of years back-to-back. The team that is Kalitta Motorsports is, appears to be firing on all eight. You would love the Funny Car side to do a little bit better, but not everybody can be leading the team at the exact same time. That's almost impossible. But what's going on with the two top field dragsters is great. And tell me a little bit about Connie, because he looks like he's really savoring it, enjoying it, every win, as opposed to like, oh man, we got to win everything. These wins one by one, he seems to be really loving them. Like, for instance, you guys taking the time to, to pose up these photos and the winner circles. And giving him those moments?
Yeah, no, he's doing good. He's 82. His health's good. He's moving a little slower than he has in the past. But the one thing I can tell you that has made a big difference. Chad Head is really. He's got things nicely organized. He's doing a great job with all of our teams. And, one of the things over the winter, and Chad took the lead on this, was to get Connie we call it the Conrad Hilton. So it's a trailer that's right next to his pit area. And, he's got this, you can go up the steps, or we got this elevator thing. And so it's 1 bedroom kind of kitchen thing going on. So it's very convenient, so he's there at the track, and, it's much more comfortable for him. So, and really all the guys at the shop, we build all our own cars. We have a real nice machine shop that we build these cylinder heads and just a lot of projects that Connie just loves. I mean, all that stuff as far as building, doing it in-house, and then having the people and just kind of building a group of people that are very capable of doing what we do is another thing that's really exciting for all of us. But that's right up Connie's wheelhouse. And he's over at the shop, I think, about every day. Yeah. I mean, he rarely misses a day that he goes to the shop and just kind of checks things out. And so it's a fun place to be right now. I think, he's definitely proud of what's going on, obviously, with, like you say, you can't win them all. So it's just part of the challenge. And, and we're all feeding off one another. So, and Connie obviously is our fearless leader, it's all good.
There you go. Courtney Enders out there saying, Doug Kalitta, the people's champion. I love to hear that. And, Connie is beloved. You know it better than anybody. And we all want to see great success for the amount that he has put into the sport of drag racing. And we mentioned it a little bit yesterday with Tommy Johnson Jr. Do you consider yourself the last Mellow Yellow Series event winner, or the first Camping World Drag Racing Series event winner, or both?
Yeah, I was just talking to Luke, who set this all up for me. Does a great job.
We love Luke. Luke
yeah, he does.
Unheralded, behind the scenes guy, great guy. Luke does a good job.
Yeah, so I really haven't been paying attention. It's still kind of as far as stopping the Mellow Yellow thing and starting with 3 races to go with the Camping World. It seems it's interesting that they had a cutoff. Not at the end of the season, but yeah, the last Mellow Yellow Top Fuel trophy goes to us, so that's kind of cool, I think. And
what do you think about the whole Camping World deal? I mean, obviously it came together rapidly. I understand, being out of the loop, we all know that you work during the week and you got a big company that you run, but it all went down on Twitter pretty much, right? Like the guy Marcus is tweeting us those stores and all the products and all the things, and considering you just talking about kind of like a mobile living environment for Connie, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great fit with all the different marketing opportunities. What do you think?
I think so. I think the same. I've got a camper. I'm always working on that thing. I usually just bring it when my family comes out, but with the NHRA, I think it's a great group to have, that type of sponsor, because I mean, there's just so many different teams. I always say that there's a class really for everybody in drag racing. The NHRA drag racing, there's the sportsmen. I mean, they all have motorhomes and their trailers, and they all stay at the track. And then there's obviously the campground. So I mean, there's hopefully some great opportunities for the Camping World, and obviously he's a racer. He's we've all watched the NASCAR Truck Series with Camping World over the years, and so I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a great fit.
I agree. Now, you mentioned driving at St. Louis at Gateway on the round track. One of the big stats that Reinhardt will always mention is that you had the honor, or whatever you want to call it, the experience of battling against Tony Stewart back in the day. I guess in the Silver Crown days, you have to tell me about it, but you guys raced and you did very well. There's a rumor going around and I didn't give it any credit yesterday or Tuesday, but it's going around that Tony may try to drive a Top Fuel dragster. It's total rumor. It's on the internet. It's probably false. But let's just imagine, like, what would that be like? What would you say to your old competitor in sprint cars about trying to drive one of these Top Fuel dragsters? Would you like to see that?
Yeah, actually, I first seen him at one of the races. It was about 3 races, or I don't know exactly when it was, but I mentioned to him, if you're ever going to drive a car, you got to drive my Top Fuel car. So I haven't worked it out with Connie yet, but I'm sure, we're about the same size. I mean, my car. So that would be an honor, obviously, for me, if he did have some interest. The one thing he did mention is, he'd like to go to maybe a Frank Holly kind of school, spend a little time, getting familiar with the cars and kind of what's going on. And so anyways, that was just a comment he made. But he's, in my opinion, I mean, he's the type of guy you could just strap him in there and he could figure it out pretty quick. And but obviously, however he would want to do it. But I would definitely be up for trying to help if he did want to try it.
Wow. Okay. So, that's totally unsubstantiated internet rumor that I'm bringing to life here on the show. You're offering a car after the season is over, after the championship is maybe locked down, of course. But you talk with Connie about it. That's great news. This is the one glaring deficiency in the driving resume of Tony Stewart. Let's face it. He's been at the drags a lot. He likes it. Guy's not been 300 miles per hour. And this would definitely complete his driving resume. A Top Fuel with guys like John Andretti and, Danny Ungaius, the guys that are the well-rounded guys from the past who did it all. Doug Kalitta.
Yeah, he has done it all. I mean, so him and AJ and, like you say, all the guys that have driven all the different cars that he's driven. He's got the resume for sure, and a hell of a driver. Obviously I grew up, racing midgets and sprint cars and stuff. Not so much the Silver Crown. I didn't really run the Silver Crown that much, just a handful of races, but the sprints and the midgets is kind of what I stayed running mostly. And he was always out there, battling over the years, early years. So.
Awesome. Well, let's hope it happens. I think it would be great. It would be great for, just publicity. One of those driver swap, car swap stories that we all love to see as car guys. All right. One final thing. I kind of got you as a rock guy, with the Metallica and the Enter Sandman and the understated guy. Well, so the Eddie Van Halen thing. Very upsetting. We got that in a couple of days. Yeah. How's that hitting you?
We all grew up with that. Well, I definitely grew up with, listening to his music, and the guy is just awesome. I mean, I never met him, but always liked his music, and so I think just one more time, cancer sucks for sure. I think, we lost a great rock and roll guy. It's a bummer for sure.
Yeah, 65. You talk about Connie being 82, 65 years old. This guy's a rock god, got everything on the planet that he could possibly want, and cancer sucks. There it is. Doug, thank you very much for spending a little time with us. I wish you good luck. 2 points behind Steve going into Dallas. Billy Myers, Texas Motorplex, then Houston and Vegas. This is exactly what we all want. High-level entertainment. You guys are in the fight. I wish you good luck. We'll be watching. And thank you for coming on WFO to share a little bit of the behind the scenes with us and our audience.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on, Joe.
All right, Doug. Thank you very much. Back to work. There we go. Doug Kalitta with us here on WFO. How great is that? Yeah, the Eddie Van Halen thing, I've been thinking about it the past couple of days, and, I want to talk with Caps about it and some others, and I know Doug's into it. These are the kind of things where, the guys that were the gods when you were a kid, they start to pass away, and it's terrible. A couple of our listeners sharing stories on our Twitter group, at WFO Radio, used to hang with Eddie, all that stuff back in the day. And I know that, they had an appreciation for drag racing, which is kind of cool. Doug, the stuff with Tony Stewart. All right. Like, that's what we did. We just advanced a rumor is what we did. We took a rumor that I think is nothing but an internet meme at the moment, a photograph of Tony Stewart with some words, and who knows what the words say, he's going to go and he's going to try to drive a top fuel dragster. I can tell you that I have spoken with Tony through this job at least 10 times over the years. And whenever, a couple of years back, he was at the Big Go, comes out, he appreciates drag racing. And I always hit him with the question, you drive everything. You've driven a Formula One car. You drive everything. Would you drive one of these? And he always says yes, and he wants to. Yes, and he wants to. It's just about the timing, and it's about the right situation and the correct circumstance, as you can imagine, right? You can't take Doug Kalitta's car right before Doug has to battle in a 3-race championship battle down to the wire. But somewhere in an off season, somewhere in Indianapolis, somewhere at some point, sometime, they got to make that one happen. That's got to happen. Why does every other series get the chance to have Tony Stewart do a driver swap and not NHRA Camping World Drag Racing? So let's see that happen. And thanks to Doug, learned a lot about Doug. I think Doug gives us a lot here on WFO. I really appreciate him. And Luke Fath, who is behind the scenes. You guys don't know Luke. Luke's great. And it's a chaotic situation. Now, Chad Head has been on the show recently. He was part of the Gary Selzy happy hour, which is still in the archive. You can go find that. That was great. Chad Head holds the honor of the only guy to drop an F-bomb on WFO, and it was kind of okay. So now Chad's great stuff. I have a lot of fun and really appreciate where they are. And Rob Flynn and Troy Fashing and all the people on there, Nick Galvin, the guys on that team that everybody's rooting for. It's going to be very cool. All right, put your comments in the comments section, and I will get to them. We got to Doug really rapidly, so I didn't go through as much as I should have at the very beginning of the show. The Yankees are down 2 games, guys. They're facing elimination today. So all you Yankee haters like Doug, different Doug, you should be excited, right? This is the good and the bad of it. The New York Yankees face eliminations back against the wall. I'm going to have to switch up the hat. I'm switching up the hat. I'm switching up to the 2009. There it is. The 2009 World Series champion hat. Exactly. First year of the new Yankee Stadium. We'll see if the little different magic comes out. Let's see. Mark says, great guy. He is. Do want to tell you, though, about Santa Cora USA from Silverthorne Industries. Tony Shortall going to be on the show next Wednesday. Going to talk a little bit about it. But go to their website, SantaCoraUSA.com, or their Facebook page. Like them, Santa Cora USA. And you'll see they've got great bundles. What does it mean? If you've got a shop, a business, a practice, and people are going to be coming in and you want to keep them safe, well, they have bundles of the gallons with the pump on the top and these individually wrapped packets. And the best way I could describe it is like a ketchup packet, except it's got hand sanitizer in there. And this solves a lot of problems because you could just throw a couple of them in your pocket. They stay sealed and you bust it open, you use it, and then you discard the packet. It's a great innovation. He's a drag racer. And I already saw some social media traffic yesterday that some of our listeners are getting in on it. And that's exactly the point. Get on there, order your Santa Cora so that you are set through the cold and flu season, which is upon us. And we appreciate the fact that Santa Cora is on board. In addition to all of our sponsors like Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology, the new podcast, Hidden Horsepower, Kenny Duttweiler up there and getting listens like gangbusters because everybody wants to know about those land speed cars and how they went over 470 miles per hour in a piston-powered car and all the secrets and tricks of the game. If you're an engine builder, Total Seal Piston Rings, you should be on board. Unlock that hidden horsepower. Call Keith. Call the team over there, TotalSeal.com. Check out their brand new website. Samtech.edu and Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School. Let me do Frank first because Frank just got a shout out from Doug Kalitta that part of the rumor is that Tony would want to go see Frank. And isn't that just the best possible endorsement that a champion race car driver from multiple other series would want to go and start from zero and get the foundational education from Frank Hawley, one of the greatest drivers of all time? That tells you all you need to know, whether you're going to get your license or you're going to just have a good time at the Dragster Adventure. They will make it worth your while. Tell them you heard about it on WFO. And speaking of foundational education, that's what Samtech is for machining, a machine shop, an engine building, an EFI. They do it all. CNC programming. Think of all the things that are made with CNC machines. Well, you can get started in that at samtech.edu. Brian Massengill, Linda, and Judd, the whole team over there have done such a great job. They've been expanding their campus. They've got online learning. Go to samtech.edu to find out more information. They got a great program going on. And the finals of the Samtech Factory Stock Showdown, we're going to sort it all out. I believe it's going to happen in Houston. Exactly. Houston is where it's all going to happen. In fact, the entries have all been switched over and from the last race to Houston. So we'll see it all go down at Houston Raceway Park, presented by Pennzoil, samtech.edu. Marvin Rodak got a little grilling talk in yesterday, talking about the Primo ceramic grills and how great they are. And Marvin grilled me a steak on one of those things, and I was like, oh, this is next level stuff. It's almost worth the build up to it. So go to rodaxcoffeeandgrills.com, 817-924-6821 to check that out. Real quick, face coverings, mailed a couple out today, just $10. You get a face covering like this one. They're very important. Cover your face, cover your mug, protect other people. You can even put one of these filters inside it. The filter does not come with it. Some assembly required. But you get some WFO radio stickers also at the WFO store. You can send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, Castella Media /WFO stickers, P.O. Box 848-353, Pembroke Pines, Florida 33084, and get it. Also, while I'm taking care of business and you guys are hopefully putting your final comments or questions or thoughts, or if you want to take the show in a different direction, Doug was a little short today, so we could go in a couple of different directions with what's going on. But I want to wish a very happy and celebrated birthday to Erica Enders. Happy birthday, Erica. I do not have a Pro Stock car to put happy birthday, Erica on the back of, but I got a show, and I can say happy birthday to Erica. And yes, birthday for Erica. Great stuff. And Mike Adams' birthday as well. As far as I know, Mike been involved with NHRA for 1,000 years. Congratulations to Mike Adams and Erica Enders on their birthday. Also, shout out to Nitro Fish. Use the promo code WFO20. All right, let's see what people want to talk about out there and see if this thing goes in another direction, right? Because, you know, what happens is the driver comes on and people get excited about the driver and the audience builds. And then the driver checks out and then a lot of them check out because they don't care about what I've got to say. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. But the diehards that hang tough, then maybe you take us in a different direction. We'll see. We'll see. All right. It was good to read that Dominic had a hand in getting Krista her to run 399 on her licensing half pass. We're hopefully going to hear that story tomorrow because Krista Baldwin is going to be our happy hour guest. I've got invites out to quite a few people. It's going to be a literal a wide open happy hour. But Krista's the guest of honor because she is recently the newest licensed Top Fuel driver. So we'll hear that story, hopefully. But I did hear through some of the social media traffic that Dom was on FaceTime. And that's leaking out a little bit. That, you know, Dom is to the point where he is watching some things that happen at the track through FaceTime. And so great. Such great news. So positive news. And that reminds me, I keep mentioning it for a reason, to give you a little pre-advanced hype that this Faith Family Lagana Strong steel lawn art, yard art, garage art tree that Jeff Shockley created from the Vandermeer area is going to go up on eBay. And I really hope that everybody gets in on this deal and somebody buys it. Whatever it is, I asked the guy, I was like, hey, man, I'm real worried. What if someone only ponies up a small amount of money and it's a tough week for everybody and they can't get in on it? And he's like, I don't care. Whatever it is, we're happy. And so that's going to be good. Very exciting to see that we'll be doing that. All right, let's see. Brandon says, hey, Joe, aren't you a Pontiac guy? And the answer, Brandon, is yes, I am a Pontiac guy. I'm a Pontiac guy by birth. The first car, I don't want to tell you about the first car. We'll just keep that a secret. It had everything to do with my mom when I was, born into life. But immediately they got a 71 Pontiac Grand Prix. And in 1978, we went to the Pontiac dealership, JM Pontiac. My dad traded it in for a 1978 Pontiac Trans Am WS6, no T-tops, white with the bird on the hood. 400, not the Olds engine. And we still own the car to this day, and that's it. Dad has always gone after the crazy, graphic paint schemes, pearl white, candy apple red. We turned the car into a bracket car back in the early 90s. This is the car that I won my Super Pro Track Championship and had a 11th overall finish at the 5-day bracket race, and still got a full interior. It's been on the centerfold of high performance Pontiac and popular hot rodding, and it's been a magazine car. We've had some good, and now it sits in our garage waiting for me to get some time and COVID to be over so I can get, in a working situation with my father to pull the engine out and replace the rear main seal because it is leaking. And then we're going to be back on track. It's going to be great. So yes, I am a Pontiac guy, generally, but I like all forms, all cars now. But yeah, like my personal car that I love is a Cadillac CTS-V. I have a 1998 Pontiac Firebird to get around. 6-cylinder, 5-speed manual, base, cloth interior. $17,999 was the base price. I still got the sticker, and the thing is about to turn 100,000 miles. I'm really excited about it. Got a little shimmy in the front end, though. Got to get that checked out. What's going on with that? And a 2006 Cadillac CTS-V, because I wanted a rear drive clutch car. Now I only have clutch cars. It's funny. I did not know how to drive a stick shift until into my 30s. Yeah, it was a glaring mistake on my resume. Like Tony Stewart's resume that doesn't have driven a top fuel dragster. I lived life as a man in America without knowing how to drive clutch for a long time, just because there was none. And I totally overcompensated. Now I do not have an automatic car to drive, two clutch car. Let's see. Jeff Rice. Good quick show today. That's him saying, end it, Joe. Get it over with, Costello. I got it, Jeff. No, listen. Doug is, I thought Doug gave us a lot. We just got to it quick. Max Mortimer. Go any racing the GTO soon? Am I going to be racing the GTO soon? You want to hear the craziest thing? They haven't been racing at Palm Beach, far as I understand, according to my great friend Lee Neal, who won the last time out. They've been rained out every single time they've tried to race since the last time I was there. Maybe I need to go to break the streak, right? Maybe I need to go racing. I would love to. I want to drive that thing. That is my dad's car, officially. Jeff Rice. Joe, that Broadway Bob poster off your right shoulder, I was there at that show. Used to go to the Jet Rocket Wheel Stander show there a lot. Have some great stories hanging there at Union Grove. Oh, very interesting. See, I was willed this. I love the fact that it's got Garlett's personal information, contact info and stuff. The National Challenge, 1977. You were there. What I don't know is if this is a real poster or a reproduction. So I'm going to go real poster just because, and that's now the fact. This is genuine original. I don't know if anyone's making reproductions. Maybe Garlett's made reproductions and put them in the museum, but a gentleman by the name of John Baker, who was a big fan of the Neil Rogers show that I worked on, was a South Florida talk radio guy, and he had two real big passions in life. One was talk radio, and the other was NHRA drag racing. And so when he passed away, the fact that I worked on the Neil Rogers show, who is, talk radio Hall of Famer, I got a bunch of stuff. And this is one of the things. Was amazing. You know what else is one of the things? Because he lived up there in Gainesville. Check this out. It lives in the studio. Speaking of Garlett's stuff, one of these Garlett's toys. And it's kind of cool. Just the little stuff that sits in the studio. Okay, Swamp Rat. I guess this is Swamp Rat 30. And it's fast, too. So you were at that race, Jeff? That's pretty cool. So many stories out there. All right, let's see. Great news about Dominic. Yeah. Simple as that. I have a 455 in my G-Body wagon. Oh, man, a Pontiac with 455 wagon. All the things that I like all coming together, converging at once. It's a cool car, and I'm a Mopar guy. I like it. What's not to like, Dale? Come on. And that's where I'm at now in my life of car liking. There's no car that I'm not going to like. Even the import stuff, I've learned to appreciate it. Once upon a time, I wasn't into it. Now I've learned to appreciate it because it's someone's passion. It's someone's love. They put a lot of effort into it. They're buying parts. They're working on it. Why shouldn't I appreciate it? I'm not going to say anything negative about it. It's the suspension. package. It's the handling and performance suspension package. Let's see. When Garlits was PO'd at the NHRA, he used to go to Union Grove instead of Indy. Yeah, that's what people don't like. Speaking of history, I don't want to call it like whitewashed or run over, but Garlits in the NHRA, the HRA deals, there was, I don't want to call it open war. That might be overstating it, but Garlits had beef. There was beef, and it's well known back in the day. And what you can imagine what the beef was over. I'm so glad we have put that all to bed, and we can have great moments like this one out at the Gator Nationals, where Big Daddy is celebrated by modern era NHRA drivers and fans, and he can go out there and get his driver's suit and helmet and get ready to race, just in case he's got to kick Steve Torrence out of it. And he almost did. Point standings: Steve Torrence over Doug Kalitta by 2 by 80 over Leah. I don't want to call it a 2-horse race yet, though. Leah's got to make a move, though, out at Dallas. That was pretty scary. Pretty scary what Leah went through in more ways than one. But the good news is able to fight another day. All right, everybody. That is going to do it. I really appreciate all of you for checking in here on WFO. Thanks for our Facebook support, YouTube support. For you YouTubers, subscribe, click the bell. I have been threatening to do YouTube only programming. And who knows, I may do that. The thing with Facebook is if people don't start a watch party or share the show, you get locked in. I think YouTube might be a little bit better. And big thanks to the folks at Competition Plus, namely Bobby. Been posting all of these shows on Competition Plus. So if you're watching right now on Competition Plus, thank you very much. We do 3 of these a week. And on this given week, we're going to do 4. Krista Baldwin, happy hour, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock. On Friday, tomorrow, Krista going to be on the show. Taylor Comiskey, 1 with WFO stickers on the car, and others going to check in. Courtney Enders suggests she might check in from PDRA drag racing. People going to be at racetracks all over the country tomorrow. So I might be like a lonely guy having a beer with Krista. That's fine. Going to talk Top Fuel. Talk about her dad, talk about her granddad, talk about the whole experience. It's going to be great. Really appreciate all of you, and I want to shout out to all of our sponsors, Santa Cora, Total Seal, Frank Hawley's, Marvin Rodak, and Samtech. You guys are the best. And to our WFO Radio listeners, don't forget to get a face covering, $10. You get a couple of WFO Radio stickers as well. Go to WFOradio.com. If you want a T-shirt, you can click the link to Nitro Fish Racing as well. Use that promo code WFO20. All right, everybody. Getting close to the end of the week. It is Friday, pretty much as of now. Real excited for happy hour, 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be dialed in. Now I got to go find some beverages. All right, we'll see you next time right here. Big thanks to Doug Kalitta. Thanks to Luke Fath. Thanks to everyone who participated. We'll see you next time right here on WFO Radio.